Today, on the Premiership Perusal podcast, a decisive Derby Day weekend. United grab a controversial win over Man City, which allows Arsenal to increase the lead atop the Premier League as the Gunners handle Spurs and claim North London. Another derby near the bottom of the table saw Steve Cooper's men pick up 3 points against their rivals, Leicester City. We'll be covering all that was for Matchweek 20. Everything from Scouser shame to West Midlands delight. This is the Premiership Perusal podcast.
Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Back, Fuchs. The ball in behind Damian Vardy! It's 11! It's heaven for Jamie Vardy!
You are an ostrich. Well, your head must be in the sand. Is your head in the sand? Are you flexible enough to get your head in the sand?
Now the fans are shouting every week, Louis van Gaal's army! Louis van Gaal's army!
Feet after a fabulous start, the game just got away from you there.
I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say about the game at all.
Drama from day one! This is the league we want to watch!
Sam's all here for Scouser shame, and then he's leaving and letting me do the rest of the pod by myself.
Why, yes, I am.
How about that?
Let's get into it.
Right away. We had the random Thursday match that wasn't part of the match week, but was...
It's part of the last match week.
It's part of the match week in our minds.
Yes.
And that's truly all that matters. So let's get into it. Chelsea, Fulham. Are we even reading the lineups for this one? Does it really matter that much?
Oh, it matters.
For the derby itself, the derby experience. Leno, Tete, Tosin, Ream, Robinson, Reed, De Cordova, Reed, Pereira, Willian, João Palhinha, and Sam's guy, Carlos Vinicius. For Chelsea, we have Kepa, Chalobah, Silva, Koulibaly, Kovacic, Mount, Zakaria, Dave, Lewis Hall, Joao Felix, and Kai Havertz.
You just didn't want to hear the awesome Fulham team that absolutely dunked on Chelsea.
What can I say? How can a team have Carlos Vinicius as a backup? It's
just not fair.
Fulham are ruining football.
Game's gone.
Fulham are ruining
Some
football.
people say Man City. No.
Some people
Fulham.
say, yeah.
Some people say PSG, Real Madrid, Chelsea.
How about the likes of Fulham?
For me, it's Fulham. Running the league.
I tell you what, Chelsea start this game, early chance for Lewis Hall. Leno coming up big. Another big chance for Chelsea early on. Joao Felix has a good chance, drags it wide, about 10 minutes. Chelsea really were looking to break a lot in this first half and just not able to. Main highlight, I'd say, of the first half, other than the goal, had to be Bobby De Cordova Reed just laser off the crossbar.
He's got that power in him.
Yes.
What can you say?
Chelsea let Fulham back in the game, and eventually Fulham make them pay. Willian, the man we all wrote off.
The no celebration. At least he respects Chelsea.
Well, yeah, he actually only respects it for the 15-16 year where everyone on Chelsea besides him was god-awful.
He only respects Chelsea because he knows they're worse than Fulham.
That's true. He's like, look at what they've done since I've left.
Look at my boy.
They massacred my
Look
boy.
how they massacred my boy.
The real team he'd celebrate against is Arsenal because
Yes,
100%.
100%.
He plays well for Chelsea, plays well for Fulham. Although he'd celebrate against Tottenham too because, he rejected Tottenham last second to join Chelsea.
Yes.
He's like, no. Second half, Chelsea start out early. Koulibaly kind of scramble for a goal to start off, and you're thinking, oh, maybe Chelsea back in it. And then Joao Felix, we should probably talk about it. I thought people overrated how well his first half was.
Yeah.
He touched the ball a lot. That doesn't mean you're doing a ton.
Maybe because
Chelsea have
in
had
comparison,
But still, like, he had some good chances and he didn't score. I don't know. Maybe that's just
Hank
me.
wants a debut hat trick. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
There's a
Joao.
reason you're on loan for £10 million. Now you're
Yeah.
wasting a whole £1 million. But he gets a red, no question about that. Studs up right at like the shin/knee. Chelsea kind of holding on for life, and then Sam's guy, Carlos Vinicius, from Andreas Pereira. Andreas Pereira might have one of the just random out of nowhere seasons. I didn't think anything of him when they signed him from United.
Yeah, I thought he might be decent, but I didn't expect him to be as consistent as he has been so far this season.
Yeah, he's one of the best playmakers in the Premier League right now. The rest of the game, Chelsea kind of going for it, but really not a ton in attack. Fulham happy to see it out, able to get a 2-1 victory at home.
Massive win for Fulham. What a terrible way to have your debut
For Joao Felix.
for Joao Felix, especially considering like that's so he's going to miss the next
3.
3 games.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's not back till February.
he was signed to play like I don't know 16 games or something.
Yeah, and he's going to miss 3. It's like the guy on your baseball team who just like doesn't show up all the time.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
And then you're paying him a lot of money.
And you're just like, oh yeah, that guy, he's back. That's what Chelsea fans are going to do when he comes back. They're like, oh yeah, we have him. Yeah,
It's
that's
like
right.
a new signing.
Pretty much a new signing.
All right.
Let's get to this Friday game.
Into
of
the real
Matchweek.
match week. Aston Villa leads for some Friday night football. Aston Villa, Emi Martinez, Konsa Minks, Young, Digne, Louise, Bailey, Ramsey, Kamara, Buendia, and Ollie Watkins.
I like that lineup.
For
I'll say it.
Leeds, Meslier, Aileen, Koch, Cooper, Struijk, Aronson, Roca, Harrison, Tyler Adams, Nyonto, and Rodrigo.
Look at the picture of Yonto. It's like really discolored.
Mid-sprint.
Yeah. They got some bad lighting at whatever stadium he's at.
Yeah.
No Somerville in this one.
No Somerville. He's
And
hurt.
no Greenwood. To start.
Yeah. Not too surprising. I think.
I don't know. Those guys had it going.
Yeah, but
Wait a second. I feel like I follow the Premier League pretty well. I'm supposed to believe that I didn't know Joel Robles is on Leeds. Everton legend Joel Robles.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. Well, I suppose that's what happens when you get rid of Kiko Casilla, or what was that guy's name?
Well, they had that one guy that is like Danish or Swedish or Norwegian.
Oh, you said that was my Premier League lookalike.
doppelganger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked exactly like Hank. Like a young Hank.
He's probably on loan somewhere.
Yeah,
and
probably.
He's probably at like Rosenborg or something. To the game.
Yeah.
Villa starting off early. Amazing Villa counterattack off a Leeds corner. Leading to Bailey with a curler. Very nice. Big props to I almost called him Alvin Kamara. Boubacar Kamara. We're just throwing out names.
I was surprised that they showed a stat that was like Aston Villa have scored as many goals in the first 15 minutes as they have throughout the other 75 minutes in games so far
It
this
just
season.
kind of feel like they start kind of fast.
Yeah, and then they taper off.
But you know what's strange is of the other 14 teams outside the top 6, they have the least amount of points blown from winning positions. They've blown 3 points from winning positions.
Interesting. I mean, it does seem like when they score early, they win.
Yeah, because
So-
it's just like they're going to come out clicking, and you're like, oh, Villa's on it today.
Yeah. Leeds had some opportunities from set pieces, but not a whole lot going for them. Ollie Watkins and Luca Digne off injured in the first half. They brought on Alex Moreno, the new
Yeah.
signing for
I kind
Aston
of
Villa.
liked him from Betis, right?
Yes. I think
Jerome
so.
Betis, Real Jerome Betis.
The bus.
The bus.
Before halftime,
Bus and
Rodrigo
bus.
had a good chance, rounded Martinez. Shot cleared off the line by Moreno.
Mm-hmm.
And then a big save from Emi Martinez on Jack Harrison, point blank. Leeds score in the first minute of added time, but Rodrigo offside in the build-up.
Mm-hmm. That was tough. It was relatively close, but...
And then
What are
we
you
get a nice
Yeah, the-
7th minute of added time
the
scuffle
almost fight.
between Cooper and Buendia.
Yeah, that was great.
The smalls and talls.
Yes, it's always the smalls and talls.
Goes in halftime 1-0. Second half, Nyanto chance. Decent stop. Good start the second half for Leeds. Villa, they were really trying to work it out of the back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's some classic Emery ball.
Yeah.
He insists on playing out of the back, even though most of the time it's pretty brutal to watch. They didn't get past the halfway line.
The confusing
for quite
thing
a
to me
while.
about it was how the game just felt open, and it felt like the best way to play was to kind of, you don't want to fall in the trap of trying to match. You don't want to out Leeds where you're just running in a track meet with them, but it felt like that was going to work well for Villa, and instead they're like, no, let's slow it down. And I was like,
Yeah. Reminded me of the early days at Arsenal trying to play out of the back to minimal success.
that was great. Brings you back to the Socrates days.
Yes.
Mustafi.
Rodrigo had another chance, roll wide, and then Aston Villa scored their second. Buendia scoring off a rebound from Bailey's shot. Initially ruled offside, reviewed, and given.
It was the weekend of overturned goals.
Yes.
Even though I think there's only like 2. There's this and the Brendan Johnson one, I'm pretty sure.
Danny Ings was able to get in behind the Leeds back line, but Meslier came out for the stop. And then Leeds pull one back through the little guy, Nyonto, making a run down the flank, gets in the box, rolls across to Pat Bamford, who's...
Bamford. What?
Pat Bamford's alive?
Yeah, and he's scoring. It's also the weekend of guys who aren't meant to score this year scoring. Bamford scored. Danny Welbeck scored.
I was so confused when they took off Rodrigo, who I thought was having a decent game, and brought on the corpse of Pat Bamford. It's like, what is this?
What are you going to do when Sam's complaining that Pat Bamford's coming on and Rodrigo's coming off? I don't know if I want to live in that world.
It's a weird world, but
I will say,
here we are.
you didn't mention one guy who got the assist. Joe Gelhardt got the assist on that.
Joe Gelhardt did. I
Yep.
thought Nyanto did.
No.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Joe Gelhardt.
Let's check the tapes. Oh my God, you're right.
I mean, Yanto set up the play, but it went to Gelhardt and then it went to
Well,
Bamford.
anyways, full time 2-1 Aston Villa. Good 3 points there.
Yeah, especially when you probably feel hard done if you're Leeds. Villa, it's a generous result. Not that you played bad, but it was just an even game. The only thing you didn't touch on too, Meslier completely like getting his whole leg wrapped around Philippe Coutinho at the very end of the game. That was pretty good.
Yes. On to the Saturday games. The big one, the early morning game for us, early in the afternoon for the British. The Manchester Derby. A big one. I predicted 2-1 to United.
You said 1-0.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
I
Because
said-
I went back and listened. You said 1-0, which is
Oh,
still...
yeah, I said 1-0 and
Yeah.
it finished 2-1. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. And what was your prediction?
I said draw.
You
I
said
said
a draw.
1-1.
Okay, I had faith. Glory, Man United.
Yeah,
over here.
you did. I mean, hey, they're clicking in City Yarn. I should have known. You got to ride the hot hand when you can.
That's true.
To the lineups.
The lineups for Manchester United: De Gea, Malacia, Varane, Shaw, Bissaka, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Eriksson, Fred, Casemiro, and Anthony Martial. For City: Ederson, Walker, Ake, Cancelo, Akanji, Rodri, De Bruyne, Silva, Haaland, Mahrez, Phil Foden.
I'm convinced Anthony Martial will play for United for the next 7 to 10 years. He's forever rumored to leave, and he just never leaves.
That's true.
He's just always there.
He goes on loan to Sevilla and then comes back.
First big chance of the game fell to Bruno. He dragged it wide, but I was, a lot of it is just City's possession, which was insanely slow.
Yeah.
Really slow, not pulling United out. I guess it got better like as the half went on, but still United were able to hold shape and really block any efforts that went to net.
Yeah, they were happy just to sit back, stay organized, and City really wasn't able to do a whole lot. Kind of lacked a spark, which is something we've seen a few times from City.
Especially lately.
Some chances later on in the half, Rashford getting past Ederson, and his shot was cleared off the line, and then a few minutes later he makes a run down the flank, but Ederson comes off his line, and this time able to smother the chance. The first one, when Ederson came off his line, just
what was he doing? What are you doing?
Nowhere near getting the ball. It was pretty funny.
Thank the Lord for Manuel Akanji if you're Man City.
Yes. Chance for City just before halftime. Kyle Walker taking a rip from distance.
That looked like it was going to at least hit the post. It looked like way closer than it ended up being. I don't know why.
Yeah. Goes into halftime 0-0. Pretty disappointing first half, to be honest. Not a whole lot of action.
Yeah. Good for United, though. That's what they needed.
Good for United.
Hang in there.
Second half, Manchester City find the breakthrough goal after 15 minutes through De Bruyne playing a nice ball to Jack Gucci Grealish, who scores.
Gucci Grealish with the header on that. Very nice. Very nice. City really didn't have much edge to their attack even until like 5-10 minutes into the half. They were pretty slow, but then the link-up play started to click. You noticed on this goal how much further De Bruyne got getting in the box, making that run to that end line. He wasn't doing that in the first half, or wasn't able to at least.
Yeah.
This time able to do that. Hangs up a cross. Mix up in the defense between Varane and Wan-Bissaka. Leaves Grealish wide open.
Yeah. United draw level, 79th minute. Controversially, after Rashford deemed not to have made an impact on the play. And then Bruno comes in, takes the ball, and shoots.
Yeah, in between it, there was a whole lot of just like not much flow, and it felt like City's just really trying to grind that 1-0 victory out, and then out of nothing, you get one through ball all the way forward, and I mean, I don't know how you can say he doesn't impact the play. He's standing right there.
Yeah, I brought that up a couple of times this season of when a player clearly is impacting the ball, but they don't consider it to be impacting the ball.
Yeah, I think the defender would have played the ball a little differently had he known that.
100%. 100%. Terrible call. Everyone knew it should have been called offside. I don't think they even went to VAR for it.
No. Not that I remember.
Very strange. And then a few minutes later, United grab the winner in quick succession, this time from Rashford, getting a pass from Garnacho and scoring.
Garnacho, the man on like $7K a week, and he's going to reject $20K a week. I can't believe they offered him that. Yeah, I mean, Rashford had it going this game. He just couldn't really get that final, push to get him over the line. He finally gets the goal in the second half. But United just needed that one breakthrough, and then the floodgates kind of open, and City's floodgates really open.
Yeah. Disappointing from City. The attack was not there. Haaland was not really involved at all.
I think Man City's buying too many Dortmund players. That's their problem. Haaland,
they're becoming Dortmund.
Akanji, Gundogan. Yeah, they're becoming Dortmund. That's not what you want to do. They're going to buy Jude Bellingham.
I thought they really missed Gundogan from the start. I just feel like he kind of adds a little more.
I feel like the only guy who did anything in this game really for City was Rodri. In terms of like being as impactful as they normally are on games. It was him. And Ederson, if you think Ederson's bad. He's pretty impactful.
Moving on to the next game.
Oh, my goodness.
A real doozy.
I think we both called 2-0 on this. I know we both called Brighton wins, but I think we both said 2-0.
We're geniuses.
Our geniuses, chat.
To the lineups for Brighton: Sanchez, Dunk, Colwell, Gross, Estupinan, March, McAllister, Lallana, Mitoma, Caicedo, and young Evan Ferguson. For Liverpool: Alisson, Konate, Robertson, Joel Matip, TAA, Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson, Ox, Salah,
Gakpo.
and Cody Gakpo playing up front.
Yeah, that Liverpool lineup. Ay caramba.
Ay caramba. Early chance for Solly March that TAA had to clear in front of goal. Dominant first 15 from Brighton. You could just tell the energy levels were different. Liverpool didn't look up for the match. Brighton were all over Liverpool.
Liverpool couldn't not only attack, they really couldn't touch the ball inside like 10 minutes. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Liverpool, and we've mentioned this, their corner defending, there's something really, really off with their corner defending these last few weeks, especially because, McAllister got a free header.
Yeah.
Alex McAllister got a free header. I just don't know. Liverpool best chance early on is Salah going to pull Sanchez out, but Ox has his shot blocked. How is it like the ball's falling for Oxlade-Chamberlain now? That's where they're at. They're like, the plan is to get Oxlade-Chamberlain in the box, and we need him to shoot the ball.
We cannot buy any more players.
We only have
the Ox. And I have to admit, the pitch was dry.
The peach was very dry, Mr. Klopp, in this one. Big counterattack chance right before half for Brighton, only resulting in a soft shot at Alisson. That was pretty tough.
Yeah.
Ferguson could have been a little better, but
Yeah, Alexander-Arnold was getting absolutely rinsed by Mitoma like the whole half. That was pretty entertaining to see. Brighton did win a penalty, but was ruled offside. Went into halftime 0-0. Second half, right out the gate, Brighton wasting absolutely no time after a terrible back pass from Joel Matip. McAllister finds Lallana, passes to Mitoma, rolls across to Solly March for the goal. Super Solly March.
He's clicking. He's really got it going. And now that Trossard's probably going to get sold, they're going to need everyone that they can to step up. Pretty much have an actual 9 now in Ferguson, at least.
Yeah.
They didn't really have that before.
Yeah, I love it. Speaking of Ferguson, a few minutes later, you find Solly March picks up the ball from under his feet, just really digs it out of the ground, and it's a beautiful shot.
I think one thing we're going to have to talk about is these goals are stemming from just Liverpool giveaways.
Terrible. Terrible in possession.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole 2.5 minute clip of Hendo with his back, I guess to the net, but typically in Liverpool's own end. And they just open the hips, clear it downfield. Mm-hmm. Hoofball from Jordan Henderson. That's Liverpool's attack now?
Apparently so.
That's what happens when you don't have a midfield. Alexander-Arnold setting up Ox, but he has a soft header. It was pretty bad. That could have been a good chance.
Yeah.
But Liverpool in this game, just what can you say? They were slow. They were toothless.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't, you said it before, they just weren't up for it.
They got no fight in them.
Yeah.
They certified don't have that dog in them.
Yeah, well, Harvey Elliott had a clear-cut chance, and he turned that clear-cut chance into a wasted one as he completely dragged it wide from about 6 yards out.
Well, Harvey Elliott is a broccoli boy. He should be making TikToks.
You know who shouldn't be making TikToks is Danny Welbeck. He should be out there having absolute masterclass goals to seal the game.
They don't call him Wele for nothing.
Something like that. Ends 3-0. Brighton shit stomp all over Liverpool. I didn't think it'd be that bad. I thought Brighton would, it'd be semi-close, and Brighton steals two goals off them, and they're just,
I didn't think Liverpool would just show up and not try.
That's, yeah.
Spearheaded by Alexander-Arnold, who's out to lunch for most of the game, just walking around.
That Welbeck goal Go back and watch that. He's actually just like walking around, not marking anyone. It's unbelievable.
It is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen something like that. Like completely
No effort
interest
walking
at
around.
all.
Yeah,
crazy.
Where's he getting sold this summer?
Championship.
He's going down with Everton.
Liverpool can't sell anyone because they don't buy anyone.
That's fair.
Speaking of Everton,
Yeah.
this was a big game for Hank.
Oh, baby.
He had some faith in Southampton.
Oh, did I have faith? I had too much faith. I had literally money on the line on Southampton.
I was over here saying, "What are you crazy? What are you betting on Southampton?
Yes.
Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind?"
I think what's more crazy is that I paired him with Wolves.
That too.
There's a reason that $50 paid out $500.
Is it crazy? No.
I'm not crazy. I
Genius.
just love Southampton.
Oh,
And James Ward-Prowse free kicks all day.
to the lineups: Everton, Pickford, Tarkovsky, Godfrey, Cody, Onana, Mikalenko, Coleman, Idrissa Gueye, Calvert-Lewin, Damari Gray, and Alexi Iwobi. For Southampton, Bazunu, Walker-Peters, Lianco, Chaleta Sarr, Salisu, Ward-Prowse, Edozie, Eliunusi, Diallo, Lavia, and Che McAdams.
Pretty open game in this one. A lot of the game is kind of won in the midfield. It was really a battle of like who could transition and who could win the ball best. I mean, you say that about any game, but it was especially true in this one because 4 players mattered. Pickford, Onana, and then Ward-Prowse and Bazunu. No one else really mattered in this game. Southampton has the best chance early on as that deflection goes just high over the bar. If it was a little lower, it's just a tap in for McAdams, but
Yeah.
too high. Everton get the goal. They score off the header. I have note here, Bazunu is the worst keeper in the Premier League. Onana with the
you
header.
say that, but
Who's
later
worse?
on in the podcast, I'll tell you who's worse.
Oh,
Oh,
I can only imagine who. It won't be Danny Ward. I'm looking through right here. You're gonna say Lloris. That's fine. He's still not worse than Bazunu. Bazunu's terrible.
have you seen Lloris lately?
Yeah, he slapped the ball in his own net.
The
We'll
guy
get to it.
literally slapped the ball into his own net.
Yeah, I mean, Bazunu's done it before too.
Bazunu is not worse.
Yes,
No.
1,000,000%.
He's a proper keeper. Now that's a proper kitty.
I think we're gonna get back to the game. I think what's the guy's name on Liverpool? Their backup, Kelleher.
Yeah.
I think that guy's twice as good as Bazunu.
Well,
I'll
that
say
guy's
it.
actually a solid keeper. He's just behind arguably the best keeper in the league.
Yeah, well, that guy is better than Bazunu by like double. Everton, few chances that come close, including one where Bazunu drops the ball. It was just like I was borderline having a panic attack anytime the ball was going near him. I was like, why did I bet on this guy? Southampton chance before half, and Pickford pushes it on to the post. It's a good save by Pickford and a good shot by James Ward-Prowse. Goes in halftime 1-0. Second half, Southampton grabbed the equalizer early. I've been saying they get Che Adams in these spots to score, and he doesn't score because he's bad. This game, they're able to get James Ward-Prowse in these chances, and he does score.
I thought it was pretty interesting. They were playing Ward-Prowse as kind of like a 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they've been doing lately. I think that's probably the way to go.
I might as well.
Everton attack quite poor. Many giveaways. Southampton looking the better side. There's just go through that Everton lineup, and there's just no one of value out there to me in terms of midfield and attack. Like Idrissa Gueye. What was he doing this game? Where was Calvert-Lewin?
Hey, he did hit the bar
Okay,
or the post.
sure. Sure. How about he scores?
Deflected shot hit off the bar and out.
Yeah. It was going wide if it wasn't deflected.
Yeah, their offense is dire.
Yeah. Onana really was their only good player. Same could be said for Southampton. There's a lot of useless guys out there.
That's
Diallo,
also true.
that Diallo performance was so bad. That was so bad. Bazunu whiffing on a ball that was crossed in, and it fell to Godfrey at the back post, but he wasn't expecting it, and it goes wide on the tap-in.
That was rough.
And then we have Anthony Gordon. Just gives away a dumb free kick. Just on the edge of the box. Like Shea Adams is going to do anything with the ball. No, let's sprint at him and take him out. James Ward-Prowse.
That's Anthony Gordon in a nutshell.
James Ward-Prowse steps up, free kick. You almost had a feeling it was in the way things are going for Everton these days.
Mm-hmm.
Slots it, 2-1. Southampton grab the victory. A massive victory. Nate Jones' first victory. Southampton, are they turning things around?
I don't think so. I think Everton just suck.
I don't know, man.
Everton, if they could score negative goals, I think that's where they'd be. like if you don't score within 90 additional minutes, you get 1 goal taken off your goal tally for the season.
That's fair. They're negative goals.
Yeah.
Are they worse than Norwich last year?
Oh, man, they're not far
They're
off
around
of
there.
it.
Yeah, they're around there.
I mean, at least they have some solid players elsewise, but
The only bad thing you can say about Southampton is the fact that Nate Jones has now won 3 of his 6 games in charge, but 2 of them were non-Premier League games. They were cup games. What a waste.
he's a cup king.
What a waste.
I think Brighton should be punished. They sold Neil Maupay to Everton. How can
That
you
was-
sell that guy? He's terrible.
Yeah, they sold him. Well, Brentford originally had him in the championship, so Brentford and Brighton should both be punished.
Yeah, but I mean, he scored goals in the championship. I mean, you're thinking this guy could be a good striker.
No, they should all be punished. Anyone who has Neil Maupay.
Everton,
punishment.
they're like, oh, we need goals. So let's buy a guy who cannot score a goal to save his life.
Scale 1 to 10, where's Fat Frank right now? They say his job's safe.
Dude.
8.5, 9?
Everton is the new Newcastle.
8.5, 9?
Big club, extremely toxic fan base.
Yeah.
Their freaking board members couldn't even go to the game because there
Yeah.
were threats.
Yeah.
Super toxic club.
8.5, 9? Is that fair?
They might forcibly take him over. It's like a coup.
I could see
a fan coup.
The Yuri Mina video was hilarious.
That guy.
Just some scousers yelling at that guy like he's gonna care. Let's move on. What's the next one? Is it actually Brentford Bournemouth? No, it's not. Okay, good. I saw your notes and I was like, is that
This is the one Hank wanted to go for, the trifecta.
Oh my! If I would have thrown that down, Nottingham Forest
You
didn't
should've.
have that great of odds though. It was only like plus 180, and it's like, okay, I think they'll win, but I need like plus 2 something. Wolves. It was more likely. It was more unlikely Wolves were to beat West Ham than Forest were to beat Leicester, and I don't agree with that.
Especially,
It's Forest, lads.
yeah. Forest.
It's Forest.
I mean, they have,
I can't
when they
trust that.
performed, it's been at home.
Yeah,
So I think
Which
that
is
plays a
when they were here.
factor.
Let's
But
get to the lineups.
yeah.
Henderson, Worrell, Aurier, Scott McKenna, Renan Lodi, Mangala, Yates, Froila, Scarpa.
Man, looks like he's got a wig on.
This guy might be the hipster version of Matoma. I'll say it.
He looks like a
Gibbs, White, and Johnson.
he looks like a FIFA character.
He does. He does. But I'm telling you, this guy, everyone's on Matoma right now. Now I might have to shift slightly away from Matoma.
Ground floor at Scarpa.
Scarpa, Gustavo, Gus Scarp.
I respect that.
That's the English version of him, Gus Scarp. For Leicester, this shit box team. Ward, Wout Faes, Amarte, Castagna, Luke Thomas, Harvey Barnes, Tielemans, Albrighton, Mendy, Ndidi, Vardy.
This when you don't have Madison,
Oh my
when you don't have
gosh.
Dewsbury Hall, I mean,
Oh
things
my-
get dire pretty fast.
Oh.
I mean, Mark Albright, what's he doing out there?
It's 2015. It's 2015, and let it be known. To the game. No, I don't recall anything that happened inside 20 minutes. I don't think anything did happen. I think it was just the ball was kind of in the air. It was on the ground, and people were running back and forth. There definitely weren't any shots or chances.
Yeah.
I think the best chance was around 20, 25 minutes where it fell for Harvey Barnes at the back post, and he just crapped all over himself.
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes bros.
Harvey Barnes, when you need a guy to step up, Harvey Barnes, not your guy.
When you need vintage Harvey Barnes, he's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt like Leicester should have been doing more with the ball. But again, they're not great in possession. When they look all right this year, it's when they're kind of transitioning, going a little counterattack style. Weren't able to do this game, because Forest are looking to counter the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I have this written down. I have Scarpa thoughts. What are your thoughts on this guy? But we already kind of talked about it. He doesn't look real.
He doesn't look real. Yep.
He does crazy stuff with the ball. He's spraying it around the field. I like him. I'm in on him.
Yeah, I think I'll.
Sam's gonna watch it. He's gonna let it marinate. It's like a
Yeah.
nice glass of like scotch or something. Sam's gonna let it sit there. He's gonna see.
Gonna smell the oak notes.
Just next time he plays, watch him be terrible. But next time he plays, watch for us.
Yeah, I'll have to specifically watch for him because I wasn't really looking for him too much because I was just
this game
trying to contemplate what the hell I was even watching.
I was watching him this game because last game they subbed him on and he played like a long ball to someone. I was like, who the hell is this guy? Who is this guy? What is he? And I had to look him up, and it was like one of those things where it says like midfielder / forward, and it's like no one really knows what he is. They probably don't even have him really
he
listed
played
on
in
the
like
team.
the 4th division of Brazil or something.
Yeah. They're like, what is this? Forrest is on their Brighton scouting right now, just pulling out random guys.
I mean, when you sign like 30 guys, you start running out of people to sign.
It's like Major League where the Willie Mays Hayes guy shows up to try out, but he actually wasn't invited to try out. Scarpa showed up. He's like, I was assigning.
Yeah.
I was here. And they're like, we don't see
All
you
right,
on the
step
list.
on over. Step on over.
No,
Here's
I
the
was.
jersey.
One major signing that we know about that they paid way too much for, but he's been okay lately. Morgan Gibbs-White had a free kick chance that was blocked. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this half just came down to everything for Leicester was just long, and it's like they're back there. I don't know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Goes in halftime 0-0. Second half, Forest countering. That's what they do. It sees Morgan Gibbs-White through ball to Brennan Johnson, who scores. Was originally called off. They checked it. He was on. I'll still never get the lines. Like, he looked on to me. I'm not going to argue that, but there's times where guys do look on and they'll put the lines up and then he's off, or vice versa, and
Yeah.
it'll just never make sense. Big highlight is the 74th minute. Daniel Marte went for a clearance and just completely whiffed on the ball, and somehow Forrest almost scored on it, and they didn't even really shoot it. It just, he whiffed on it and the ball rolled towards the net, and Gibbs-White ran at it. And then to close it out, great play, Gibbs-White with the absolute dangle show. He finds Brennan Johnson, who rips it far post. 2-0 victory.
Yeah. Brennan Johnson absolutely torching
Oh, yeah.
the youngster Brunt who came on as a sub. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah. He was torching anyone and everyone out there in that back line. Finishes 2-0. This was almost a must-win for Forest.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. Especially Leicester, that lineup.
Yeah.
Tough stuff.
Tough stuff is
Tough
right.
stuff.
What do you got
match.
next?
Wolves versus West Ham
Oh, yes.
to complete
The trifecta.
the Hank special.
Sa, Collins, Semedo, Kilman, Bueno, Neves, Podence, Hee-Chan. Not Huang Hee-Chan, just Hee-Chan.
Even though that's his first name.
Yes. Well, we got Matthias here. That's also a first name.
That's true. That's true.
The Portuguese and Korean, they're very similar in that aspect. João Montinho and Matthias Cunha making the debut in the Premier League. Fabianski, Cresswell, Shufal, Ogbonna, Aguirre, Paqueta, Sushek, Rice, Fornals, Antonio, Bowen.
That's Arsenal's Declan Rice to you.
That is whatever team can snag Aguirre to you, because that guy's actually one of the two good players on this team.
True.
Pretty lively early, I guess. West Ham's attack, this was probably the most peppy they've looked in a while. They had a little going early on. And they did a good job kind of spreading Wolves across the pitch, I thought, early on, pulling them side to side. But Wolves did a good job kind of working to sustain some attack presence early in the first half, too, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought, they held the possession well. West Ham, I did like that they were committing more guys forward this game, it seemed.
Yeah.
But I thought Wolves looked pretty solid in the first half.
Yeah, I liked how they got their new guys on the ball, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Cunha, he was getting on the ball quite a bit. Not necessarily in the most dangerous spots, but popping up, being an option.
Yeah, he had one shot that I don't know if it just went wide or Fabianski pushed it wide. I can't remember, but, as long as he's out there getting looks.
Yeah. There was a chance for Soufal getting on the end of the loose ball, but Hugo Bueno coming up with a stop.
Hugo Bueno. This was the Hugo Bueno coming out party of this game. He was fantastic.
Dude, I've been Hugo Bueno day one, bro.
Hugo Bueno day one. Yeah, Neves had some long-range shots that really weren't troubling the keeper in the first half, too. And then, I just note that Wolves are so much better when they're wide, but their eternal problem, besides the fact they can't shoot, is that they just don't have anyone in the middle of the box, facing the net. Why is no one ever there?
That's what Diego Costa's for, am I right?
But he's hurt.
That guy sucks.
No, he's hurt. He's hurt. That's why he can't play. Halftime, 0-0. Second half, Wolves score early. Breaking fast is Matthias, who has a pass deflect off a defender, and it falls for Podence, who rips it. Sam called last week, said, Wolves, accept that Podence, the little man, is your best guy.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is scoring.
You know what I love about Podence is, at least once a game, he'll go for some, bike or something.
Yeah.
Or, overhead volley. He's just that kind of guy,
Yeah.
He doesn't care what people think.
You know what I think? West Ham's attack was putrid in the second half.
Yeah, you talk about Wolves not being able to score. West Ham, I mean, Antonio has been bad.
He's been washed.
Scamacca.
He just doesn't play. And when he's out there, he does some stuff.
Doesn't score.
That's the main thing. He doesn't score. Although he scored against Leeds last week or 2 weeks ago. But no, he's a good pressing kind of forward, but although the service isn't there for him too, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not fully out on
That's
him,
true.
but I think this whole West Ham scenario is really bad.
Yeah.
Neves ripped one off the bar. Whole lot of Ait Nouri in this one attacking. They're really getting him forward more often than Lage.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, what's his name? Nuno. When Nuno had him for a bit. Yeah, West Ham's only chance of the second half, I remember, Scamacca won the ball, brought it in the box, and then laid it off for Benrahma, who shot it right at Jose Sa. And I get, you should probably just play Benrahma every game, West Ham, to start.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I mean, they were pushing for an equalizer, but how many chances did they even get? One?
I'm saying one. Yeah, I don't remember any besides that one.
It was a solid 20 minutes where they were in possession,
passing the ball around. Yeah.
They just can't figure anything out how to get the ball centrally in dangerous areas.
No. Saw a chance at the end, but Rice shoots it wide. That was pretty bad. And then your guy Raul Jimenez came out of nowhere and he scored, but he was offside.
It was a nice chip.
It was nice. got it up and down. Finishes 1-0 Wolves. Another one that was pretty much must win for team down there.
Yeah.
Towards the bottom.
Must win for Wolves. West Ham, that's a real tough loss. Another tough loss. David Moyes' hot seat grows hotter.
I just don't know at what point you just get rid of them. Right now you're 18th. You're tied with 19th and 20th. And you're 1 point ahead of Bournemouth. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Sammy.
It's gonna get spicy. I'll tell you that. Speaking of spice, Brentford versus Bournemouth. This one, not all that spicy, but anyways, Brentford.
Pretty tame.
Raya, Pinnock, me, Ayer, Janelt, Norgard, Jensen, De Silva, Wisa, Ivan Toney, Brandon, Bumo. For Bournemouth, Neto, Lloyd Kelly, Mepham, Stacey, Senesi, Cook, Jeff Lerm, Ryan Christie, Jaden Anthony, Kiefer Moore, and Phil Bill. No Big Dom Solanke.
Wisa.
It's like when you hold a shell up to your ear and you hear Wisa.
I was doing the tequila one, but
That's
for Wisa.
not the ocean. You hear Wisa. And it's him whispering it. Well, Bournemouth, they didn't have a whole lot going, but they had a chance in the 20th minute.
Kiefer Moore.
Kiefer Moore just needed to be 7'6", and he would have got the ball.
Hey, you still got a head on it. It just went high because there's no way to get on top of it.
Yeah. Brentford were in control of the match for most of the game. They won a penalty, 37th minute. Senesi dueling for a long ball with Ivan Toney, deemed to have fouled him. I don't know how that's a foul personally.
There's a little pull him down. Toney goes down soft. Ivan Toney's in that. He's gonna get that call. You think Senesi's gonna get the call?
Well, Ivan Toney initially hooked Senesi, and then Senesi was falling over, and then he brought down Toney.
Yeah, they're not gonna give you that call.
So it
Ivan
should either
Toney's
be
gonna get that
nothing,
call.
or it should be a foul on Toney.
Good luck with that.
But anyways, Ivan Toney, the cheat, steps up.
He's a cheat code.
He's a gambling man. Steps up, converts a penalty.
When you step up to the spot,
you gotta know when to shoot it, know when to pass it, know when to walk away, know when to run.
I just thought
you can't be gambling on English matches, or else you'll face a charge. You'll be banned for 12 months. And your paycheck won't be large.
Oh, there we go. Straight bars.
They do call me Kenny the Jet Rogers.
I wish I had said the wrong one. Said Kenny Loggins.
They don't call me Kenny Chesney for nothing.
Yeah, I just thought Brentford didn't look that good in this game, given how Bournemouth have been playing. And especially, Bournemouth was able to win the ball once in a while in Brentford's third in midfield, because Brentford just kind of got lazy. But Bournemouth have been so bad.
Awful.
Yeah, Bournemouth have been so bad. Bournemouth were playing like Brentford did last year during Brentford's bad run.
That's true.
That's what Bournemouth are right now. Halftime 1-0, second half. De Silva almost had an absolutely filthy chip to start off. Went just high. But again, this half was pretty much all Brentford. Again, Bournemouth not really able to do much in attack. And then, to close it out, little Jensen, nice upper 90s shot off the counterattack. Josh De Silva with the cross.
Nice cross.
Yeah. Other than that, did I miss anything? I didn't. This second half, there was not
Dembele
much.
came on for Bournemouth, and he had a decent shot.
Musa Dembele, yeah.
Sariki Dembele or whatever, the young Scottish lad, of course.
Yes. Proper Scottish name,
Proper
Dembele.
Scottish. Yeah, pretty easy win for Brentford. Bournemouth, I think they're going down to the championship and their debts grew higher. It's all because Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan out.
He
am I
ruined the
right?
vibe.
Him and whoever their new owner is.
Before we go over Chelsea Palace, is Palace the cutoff for teams that could get relegated, or would you throw Palace in there? Palace is 12th right now. 6 points ahead of Bournemouth, who's in 17th. 3 points behind Villa.
I think they're ahead of the cutoff just because there's a lot of teams that are really bad.
Okay. I didn't know. I just want to get a feel. Would you cut it? Obviously, the next... Forest is in 13th, by the way, guys.
Okay, well, is that going to happen?
That is 1,000% the cutoff, though.
I mean, it's,
because
it's
anyone
so
else...
tightly packed.
But that's what my point is that Palace is either the cutoff or they're included, but because the rest is Forest, Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Bournemouth, West Ham, Everton, Southampton. Any of those teams could go down.
Yes.
But I just wanted to see your take to see if Palace, because they've been struggling too. The lineups.
Yeah.
Kepa, Trevor Chalobah, Benoit Badiashile, Thiago Silva, Lewis Hall, Jorginho, Mount, Hakim Ziyech, Conor Gallagher, Carney Chukwuemeka, and Kai Havertz.
What's the love for Lewis Hall?
He works hard. He works hard. He's proper English. He's proper Chelsea.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet, but,
He's, you have to throw a couple of those guys out there. Otherwise, it's not full banter era.
That's true.
Remember United when they started off? They had Butner. Who's a banter guy from Arsenal's? Who's your favorite banter guy from Arsenal's bad spots a couple years ago?
I don't know. Yeah, Sanogo.
That
guy's a legend, though.
Yeah, but he was more like with Wenger, and they were still hanging around.
Okay, you're talking like Emery.
Probably, yeah, more like Emery. Or like very end of Wenger. There had to be someone. I'm gonna look up the 2018 Arsenal squad right now.
Let's pause this.
Are we cutting this out of the pod?
No, this is staying. This is what people subscribe for.
At the table.
I don't need to see the month by month. Okay. Banter players.
Callum Chambers.
Lichtsteiner.
Lichtsteiner. I know mine was Dennis Suarez.
Dennis Suarez, that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Carl Jenkinson, but I still consider him more
Carl Jenkinson's a legend.
I consider him more under the Wenger class.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of like funny random
No, because
guys.
it was just a bunch of saddos.
Other than like
unfortunately
Dennis
for you.
Suarez.
It was a bunch of just sado guys.
Yeah. That's true.
Kolasinac.
Yeah.
Could have been Rob Holding, but Rob Holding's still hanging in
Rob
there.
Holding was bossing it at that time.
For Palace, Guaita, Mitchell, Gahey, Anderson, Klein, Olise, Ayu, Etze, Schlupp, Ducore, and the Wilf. I wish we could add Reece James in this solely for the fact that him and Wilf are always getting into some beef on the field. And I love some Wilf riling people up and getting riled up.
A little wind up.
Yep. Chelsea played pretty quick. And, Lewis Hall started early, had one solid chance early.
Lots of people are joking about Lewis Hall.
The Lewis Hall. Palace looked better after about 10 minutes, forcing Kepa into some saves. Big save on Olise at the 20th minute. Guaita had a big save on a Thiago Silva volley, which I guess was offside or something. But Kai Havertz had a chance. Thought Chelsea did a good job exposing the wide space against Palace. And Conor Gallagher, this is probably his best game for Chelsea. Sam's doing Trump mannerisms the entire time. Gallagher able to run, square the ball for Hall, who drags it wide. Sam proven right again. Big chance for Schlupp off the corner, but Kepa answers it. It was, honestly, this game had like an insane amount of saves by Guaita and Kepa. It was a goalkeeper battle.
It sure was.
And Guaita had a save on Hakim Ziyech right before half. So it goes in halftime 0-0. And then just as the first half opened, both teams kind of going at it in terms of open play, some attacking by both. Wolf had a chance, but then Chelsea get the goal, short corner from Chelsea. Palace don't really get out there well enough. Hakim Ziyech to Kai Havertz for the header.
You always forget to defend Kai Havertz. Like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yep, he scores when you don't think he will. He scores the semi-tough chances.
Yeah.
And craps his pants on the easy ones.
Chelsea bring on the cavalry. Aubameyang.
Yep. I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm blue.
I'm blue.
Jorginho picking passes this half. He really had it going. Mason Mount cross for Kai Havertz too high. It was a tap in if Havertz gets on it. After that, Chelsea kind of just looking to see it out a bit. But Palace not really able to do a ton until Doucouré has a blast upper 90. Kepa, big save. Finishes 1-0. Chelsea, good job in midfield at limiting Palace from getting breakouts like Palace were getting in the first half. But not a great performance by Chelsea, given the fact Palace aren't playing that well. But what are you going to do? Graham Potter comes out and says, it's not about the performance, it's about the result in this one. And I was like, what? I don't think that's true. But I think Chelsea might be this year's version of Leicester. Remember last year Leicester, when I said this about them, where it was they play a certain level the entire game in every game, and if they win or lose, it's just based on if their opponent's better than that threshold or worse. But Chelsea's always the same.
That's fair. Yeah, I think you're onto something.
Yeah, they're just mediocre.
They are mediocre.
And I don't think they can make it any better or worse, is my point.
And maybe 7th is our best place.
That's a compliment. Lewis Hall would like to shake your hand on that one.
I just love the constant, like, every day there's another quote about Graham Potter being like, it's really hard. This is hard. I'm having a hard time. It's hard to transition.
I know, and it's like, well, I wouldn't know anything about that.
How much money is Chelsea spending on players? Another 100 mil.
That doesn't matter.
Another 100 mil. They got some to Arsenal.
That doesn't matter.
The biggest
you
news
don't want
of
that
this
guy.
past week.
The only problem is if Arsenal isn't using this new thing as a decoy about Rafinha, then that's spooky, because you really don't want Rafinha.
No, you know why that guy's going to be great? Because he's got a middle part on neck tattoos. Kind of like polar opposites of one another.
Yeah, the middle part with the bleached hair that's in the neck tattoo that says, like, I love Jesus. Or he has, like, his neck tattoo also, it says, like, talent, and it has a line crossed through it.
It's like talent isn't enough or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's bringing the 90s back.
He's a vibe.
Respect.
I heard it just came down to the fact that Shakhtar didn't want to accept Arsenal's offer because of the payout format versus Chelsea was just going to front the money right away.
Yeah.
Versus installments. Todd
Bowley wrote the check.
Todd Bowley. He's just a big boy balling out.
The man can't stop spending money. 500 mil.
He's going to spend a lot more this summer, too.
For the team to finish in 10th place.
You got to love it. He loves the club. He's willing to do it for the club.
Not only is he spending 100 million, guys, he's like this unproven guy who's scored 9 goals in the Ukrainian league.
100 mil.
100 mil, 8.5-year contract. 8.5 years.
I think Todd Bowley might be an agent.
I think so. Yeah.
I think he might be an agent. This is to get back at the Abramovich Russian ties. So they're like, how can we just completely cripple Chelsea and ruin them and make sure they're in the championship for eternity?
Yeah.
In 7 years.
Yeah. Is it 8 years? What year is it? In 2031, that's when his contract will expire.
Well, he might come back to the club. He might not. He might go to Arsenal.
Nah, he's going to be... I predict he's going to be on Chelsea until 2030 at least. You'll be
loves
like,
the
this
club."
guy, why is he on the team?
That'd be so funny.
And Lewis Hall will have won his 5th Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. We all thought that Reece James was the best player in the world. Wrong.
We don't need
Lewis
Mudryk. We
Hall.
got Lewis Hall. This guy's the GOAT. All the little kids will have Lewis Hall jerseys.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'll be sitting there with my Mudryk kit.
A middle part,
Yeah.
neck tattoos. Talent
Bleach
is
hair.
enough. Talent isn't enough.
Let's
Ah,
get to another sad man with neck tattoos. Alexander Mitrovic. It was the Mitrovic derby.
Sure was. Newcastle versus Fulham. The lineups: Pope, Trippier, Botman, Shard, Byrne, Willock, Longstaff, Bruno G, Jolinton, Mr. Drink Drive, Callum Wilson, and Miguel Almiron. For Fulham, Leno, Tete, Kurzawa, Tim Ream, Issa Diop, Harrison Reed, Bobby, D. Cordova, Reed, Andreas Pereira, Willian, João Paulinho, and Mitrovic.
You know what's always crazy is when you look at teams like Fulham, and you'll hear like a guy like Klopp come out and say, well, you know, not everyone who's fit last game will play next game because they
Right,
might just
well,
not be fit.
The pitch was dry.
And then you look at Fulham, and they throw the same team out there like every freaking game.
They can't be stopped.
Is it just a matter of having guys who are like, you look at them and you're like, you don't get hurt. You're on the team.
Yeah, pretty
Maybe
much.
you should just do that. Maybe teams should start doing that.
Yeah.
Like, can you actually suit up and play every game? Okay, you're here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's getting Arsenal to first place in the league. You ever see Arsenal change their lineup?
No, but they do still have guys hurt every once in a while. So
Yeah, well, they're going to lose the title race when Thomas Partey gets injured, and then we have to bring in freaking getting into the game. 5 minutes in, a vital block from Issa Diop, who stops Sean Longstaff from getting a shot off close range.
this is the best game from Jop I've ever seen. Although that's not saying much because he's pretty bad at West Ham, but
Yeah, he was pretty solid. It was a good start for Fulham, holding possession. But as the half went on, Newcastle looked better. Callum Wilson had a chance, header straight at Leno.
yes.
And then he had a near post shot, also saved.
Yeah, Leno had to be staying on his head in this one.
Just before halftime, good control and skill from Callum Wilson to create space. But his shot was weak in the end. Finishes halftime 0-0. Second half, Sharp.
This
ripping
shot.
freaking
Oh my.
free kick.
That was a blast.
That was filthy, dude. Almiron follow-up blocked by Diop. Having a great game. A few minutes later, double penalty shout. First a foul on from Byrne on Pereira, not given. Second, Trippier on Bobby D. Cordova. Reed reviewed and given.
Originally, I thought it was going to be outside the box because it was like near the edge.
I thought the first one was a foul, to be honest, but in the end, they got their penalty. And who steps up? None other than Mitrovic.
The only man to get a 0.0 on expected goals on a penalty. It's unbelievable.
He did something I've never seen in my life.
The double
Takes
hit.
the penalty, hits it off his standing foot,
And it went down the middle. It was like a perfect shot.
and went down the
It was an
middle.
insane chip.
But it's ruled out. Doesn't even get a retake it.
Indirect free kick for Newcastle.
Indirect free kick. The tomato is on Mitrovic's face.
I felt bad for him, I'm not going to lie.
And then Newcastle started their charge. Newcastle had a chance, 77th minute. St. Maximin fizzing a shot wide as they pour on the pressure. And
Yes.
then 89th minute, they find the breakthrough. Longstaff crosses to Wilson, who heads over to Isak for the tap-in.
Good Longstaff game. Wilson was always kind of hanging around even though he wasn't taking the chances.
Yeah.
But then Isak there for the tap in. What can you say?
Yeah, didn't do a whole lot when he came on, but
Scored the winner.
right place at the right time.
Big Newcastle win. That would have probably, if they don't win that one, that kind of gets in your head. It's like we couldn't score against Leeds. can't score against Fulham.
Wow, Fulham.
What's going through our head?
Mighty Fulham.
Yeah, but still, 2 goalless games. That's like, especially at home.
I think people are kind of living off the first 5 games hype of Mitrovic.
Nah. I think he got hurt. I still don't think he's 100%. I think he's...
Yeah, whether he's not 100% or if he's just out of form.
I'll say it. I'll say it right now. Their most important player by a mile is Paulinho.
Yes.
And then it's probably Leno/Pereira, and then it's
Tim
Mitrovic.
Ream.
Tim Ream's up there too.
Tim Ream, baby.
Mitrovic might be 5th MVP on this squad. No.
The American.
And to be fair, when Fulham was clicking, he was carrying them very hardcore. But now you're right, that's not the case.
I'm just saying people are acting like he's going to win player of the season when he hasn't really performed.
It's not even less that he hasn't performed. It's more so that he has really good guys around his team that also have not dropped off or gotten hurt. So, yeah, like I said, I think he's like the 5th most important player in their team right now.
Yeah.
Sam's really trying to make the case that Kenny Tete is more important as well.
Absolutely. Into the final match of the weekend. The North London
derby. I don't think
derby.
this happened.
Tottenham Hotspur versus Arsenal. To the lineups, Hugo Lloris, worst goalkeeper in the league. Dyer Romero, Longley, Doherty, Højbjerg, Sessegnon, Papsar, Hungmin,
Yep, there it is. I like it.
Harry Kane, and Kulishevsky. For the mighty Arsenal, Ramsdale, White, Gabriel, William, Saliba, Zinchenko, or as my dad calls him, Zielinski.
That's a great one.
That's hilarious.
That is amazing.
Thomas Partey, Odegaard, Xhaka, Saka, Martinelli, and Eddie Nketiah. Eddie.
He's the worst player in this game.
I
mean, it's not saying much. Arsenal's squad was loaded, but
Eddie Nketiah is a legend, man.
yeah, well, he was the worst player in this game.
No, he wasn't.
He had the chance in the 7th minute.
Yeah, Hugo Lloris, early mistake.
Oh, I wanted to make a point. Can we go back to the Tottenham lineup?
Yeah, why are they giving Papsar his debut against Arsenal in the North London derby?
Why
when
is
they
Perisic on the bench?
Sessegnon? Yeah. I was thinking that too. You're starting Sessegnon over Perisic?
Might be like your 4th best player. Why is he on the bench? Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, Arsenal kind of really able to pass how they want in this game, but Eddie Nketiah, huge chance, stuffed by Lloris, apparently the worst goalkeeper in the league.
It was after Lloris made a mistake.
He did make a mistake, but he atoned for it with a big save, and Eddie Nketiah, worst player in Arsenal, could not score.
This is just mind games. Hank is salty that I came after his guy, Lewis Hall.
I have my number 67 kit on the way.
I keep receipts.
I have a Taj Gibson 67 Wolves jersey. I have a Lewis Hall 67 Chelsea jersey. I'm trying to think of other famous number 67s.
All right.
Ricard Raquel on the Ducks when he was on the Ducks.
Famous number 67s in sports. Let's see what we got. First one, Bob Kuchenberg.
Of course. How could anyone forget?
And then you got Stan Bach. And then you got Kent Hull. I mean, these are all football. This is...
Yeah, we need some proper non-offensive linemen. Oh, MLB. Oh, that's just going to do.
67.
Some guy...
Max Kepler.
Okay, well, does that count?
Ching Ming Wang. Alvin
Khalil
Almazar.
Dervisoglu. And apparently Mesut Ozil.
Okay, so no one wears number 67. I thought there'd be someone that's...
I'm sure there's some random guy other than Lewis Hall.
I mean...
Click on who wore it in baseball.
Bob Kuchenberg.
And Duhar. It's a bunch of randoms. All right, get this out of my face.
Yeah.
Back to the game. Back to a good game. Saka scores. Uh-oh, Lloris Burrows. I don't feel so good. As it hits him right smack dab in the hands, and he slaps it back in.
Yeah, apparently not the worst goalkeeper in the league.
He's not. And then Partey with a banger off the post. Tottenham, potentially the worst first half team of all time.
Yes.
Odegaard on the quick build-up, slots it from the edge of the box for 2-0. The overhead cam just showing Tottenham's shape was so funny because it was so bad. It was so bad, like guys stepping up for no reason out of the back line to just get pulled out. It was brutal. Tottenham's only chance to end the half was Harry Kane off a cross, but Ramsdale saved it. So in halftime, 2-0. And then Tottenham got it going, Sam. I bet you were a bit scared.
Well, we've got Aaron Ramsdale had a big save just before halftime on the Kane header, and then Kulusevski had a just little cut inside, curling shot go over. Then Kane forced Ramsdale into a diving save. But guess what? Aaron Ramsdale, not the worst goalkeeper in the league.
No.
That's Hugo Lloris. Who came up clutch? Aaron Ramsdale did.
Lloris also made another save on Nketiah.
Yes. Who apparently was the worst Arsenal player.
Who would you say was the worst Arsenal player? Someone's got to be the worst.
I thought Zinchenko got caught out like 4 times. He got caught out a lot defensively.
No, that was Ben White got caught out a good
No.
amount. Yes.
No.
Yeah,
It was
the
Zinchenko.
the Sessegnon chance, that was Ben White.
That was one chance.
That was the best chance. If there's
It
anyone
happened
else
to
shooting
Zinchenko
that,
like 4 times.
no way.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Well, you're surprised that he's in my team of the week
I
because
watched
I loved
the
him.
game.
I loved his performance. His passing was fantastic.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's his thing. You know, he gets really far up, and then we're playing without a left back.
Yeah, and Ben White's got to be there, and instead he gets toasted by
Ben White's
Sessegnon.
on the right.
Yeah, and he's getting toasted. You got cut over. You got cut over. You got to know what you're doing. Ben White doesn't know what he's
this
doing.
Lewis Hall fame club over here. This guy's out
This
to
Eddie
lunch.
Nketiah is the best player for Sam as he doesn't score.
Eddie Nketiah, probably top 10 striker.
You've lost the plot. You've lost the plot.
Name 10 that are better.
All right.
I'll give you
name
one,
the rest of the
Gabriel
game.
Jesus.
Yeah. We'll go down. You read the rest of the game. I'm going to compile 10 guys that are better than him.
Mitrovic and Nketiah is better.
There's no way in hell.
Harry Kane and Nketiah is better.
All right.
Cody
Here it is.
Gakpo.
Holland, Kane,
No.
Tony,
No.
Rodrigo,
No.
Rashford,
No. None of those guys are better than Nketiah.
Martinelli, Trossard.
Martinelli's a winger. Trossard's a winger.
Oh, so now we're going to do that. Oh, Firmino.
Yeah, he's better than Firmino.
All right. This conversation
He is top 10.
This
You couldn't
conversation.
even get me to
Danny
like
Ings.
5.
Danny Ings.
He's better than Danny Ings.
No way.
He's
Callum
100%.
Wilson.
He's better than
Wilf.
Callum Wilson. Wilf is a winger.
He played striker up top this last
He's
game.
a winger.
What
He's
are
a
you
winger.
talking about?
He's a winger.
I'll tell you he's not better than Darwin Núñez.
Darwin Habibi. Yeah, he's sure not able to get as many offsides, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, tell me why Daniel Podence has more goals.
Let me
than
bring it back
Eddie
to you.
Nketiah.
Christian Romero, another game where he escapes his second yellow card.
That guy's the most. I think I'm going the other way on him. I don't think he's good. I'll say it. Although Tottenham, they don't have a ton of guys to surround him with talent, and there's virtually no midfield, so it's hard to say. But he's caught out a lot. But at the same time, it's one of those things where he's super aggressive, and it's like, why are you so aggressive when you have no one around? But at the same time, it's like, what does it matter? You have no one else around you.
That's how he plays.
Awani is better than Eddie Nketiah.
You are cracked, bro.
Brendan Johnson's better.
Keep kidding yourself.
Neil Maupay's better.
Keep kidding yourself. Let's get to some predictions.
Diego Costa's better.
Shall we? We got 12 games to predict.
Jamie Vardy's better.
What year is it? Diego Costa, Jamie Vardy?
Yes.
All right. Crystal Palace, Man U, tomorrow.
Selhurst. This could be a letdown game for United.
The Wan-Bissaka derby. I don't
Could
think
be a
so.
bit of a
I
letdown.
don't think so. You don't have faith in United like me. I'm over
You
here.
love Ten Hag.
Old Trafford is my stadium. Eric Ten Hag, what a legend. Not fraudulent at all.
We didn't even go over my team of the week.
Yeah. You got
We didn't even go over
Zinchenko
my
in
team
it.
of the week. Yeah, the best player on Arsenal. Ramsdale, Hugo Bueno, Aguard, Thiago Silva, Zinchenko.
How do you have 2 left backs?
It's a back line, you fucking freak. You freak. That's what I've been doing this all time.
I'm getting into the brain of Hank. He's
James
losing
Ward-Prowse,
it. He's losing
Longstaff, Onana, Odegaard, March, and Brendan Johnson. That's a hell of a team.
it.
Right
Shout
there.
out Solly March.
No, shut up. Shut up. Get out of here.
I've been Solly marching since
no.
Matchweek 1. I'm
No.
like, this guy's actually
You said
legit.
Eddie Nketiah is better than Solly March.
Solly March is not a striker.
You said so. It doesn't matter. Eventually, guys are better than other guys. And
Tell
you said Eddie
striker
Nketiah
Solly
is better.
March is better than, and that's Neil Maupay.
That's not saying much. I think United's going to win 2-1.
3-0 United.
City, Tottenham. City always struggle with Tottenham, but City have been playing real bad lately, but Tottenham have been playing even worse.
I think 2-0 City. Spurs just going to suck.
Maybe 7th is all we can do.
Maybe 7th would be an achievement at this point.
Yeah, I'll go City 2-1. Liverpool, Chelsea, Anfield. This game is going to stink.
0-0.
This game is going to stink. The defenses are so bad, there's no way it can end 0-0. I'm going to go 1-1.
Talk about games that stink. Bournemouth versus Forest.
If Forest win this one, man.
Forest on the road.
Steve Cooper.
Well,
They have 2 road goals this year.
I'm going to say 1-1.
Goalless draw. And Sam's going to want to rip his eyeballs having to watch it.
Yes.
Rip him out. Leicester, Brighton. King Power.
Easy win for Brighton. 3-0.
Nah.
Solly marching
Your team
on
Leicester,
together.
they look good.
They don't have James Madison. That is Leicester. That's the team.
Brighton
That's it.
2-0. Southampton, Villa, St. Mary's. Good evening.
2-1 Aston Villa.
Good evening. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, and Southampton get Danny Ings before the end of the week, and he scores against Villa.
Okay.
That's the prediction. West Ham, Everton. This game shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, the David Moyes derby.
The Fat Frank derby, too. He didn't play for Everton, but he played for West Ham, managed Everton. There's a lot of overlap here.
Yeah.
Gareth Barry didn't play for West Ham, too. I think he played on Villa before City.
I think you're right.
So, all right. Well, this game, it's going to suck.
0-0.
Someone's got to score.
0-0.
Everton 1-0.
0-0. Crystal Palace, Newcastle.
No, I'm going to go West Ham 1-0. Palace, Newcastle. Ooh.
2-1 Newcastle.
I'm going to go with the goalless draw. Nope. Psych. 3-1 Newcastle. Just to one-up you.
Goalless draw 3-1. Okay.
Yep.
Leeds versus Brentford. I think this would be a 3-3 draw.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go 2-2 draw just to one down you.
Man City Wolves.
These games are always like really competitive and close for whatever reason, but it always ends with City winning. I'm going to go 1-0 City.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0 City. Here we go. Arsenal versus Manchester United.
Well, I don't know who you're going to support in this one.
Glory, glory, Man United.
This was the last game where we saw Ronaldo look like Ronaldo last year. After that, he fell off a cliff.
No, he didn't play well in this game.
Last year?
Yeah, it was
He
after his
scored.
kid died.
Didn't he score?
I don't think he scored.
I'm almost positive he scored. Look it up. Third look up of the pod. Was it like April 2022? Type in April 2022. That's not going to bring you to it. That's not going to show you all the history.
It'll show me the recent matches.
It's
yes.
that one. Yes, April 23rd. Yeah.
He did score. He scored one goal.
Oh my God.
He could have scored a hat trick.
Yes. I just remember it because Modric dropped a dime on his head.
I just remember Granit Xhaka hitting an absolute banger. Wow,
That was-
Nuno Tavares scored in this one.
That could be your banter player, but he's at the good times now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. It's going to be a lot of draws this week.
I'm going to say a fraudulent 2-1 for Manchester United.
This guy's doing
the
anything
pocket.
to anti-jinx Arsenal.
In the pocket. I said they.
What do we
said Arsenal would.
What do we got for
Draw
the rest of
2-2.
the games?
That's it.
No, there's a Monday game right there. I'm looking right
That's
at it.
That's it. The Carlos Vinicius derby. Bro.
Yeah, Sam has lost his whole skull. It's fallen off.
And you can't he's the best player in the world. I swear to God.
He's a top 10 striker.
I swear to God.
Fulham, Tottenham.
top 10
This game shouldn't be televised. And why are Chelsea, Fulham playing next Friday? They just played. They're driving us insane. Next thing we'll know it, Man City play Wolves in like literally 7 days.
Yeah.
Back-to-back match days. I'm going to go Fulham 1-0. I don't know.
I like Fulham at home. I'm going to say 2-1.
No, I'm going to change. Tottenham have to win eventually. We're going to go 3-2 Tottenham.
Yeah, maybe.
They have to win eventually. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just lose forever.
That'd be great.
They're going to finish 11th, Chelsea 10th.
Yeah.
Sam anti-jinxes Arsenal all the way to the
Fulham
final.
4th.
Or to the title. Fulham 4th. Newcastle 3rd.
Arsenal's not going to win
Brighton
the
2nd.
title.
Brighton 2nd. Man City 5th.
Arsenal's not going to win the title, and here's why. Because Thomas Partey is going to get hurt. And that's when everything goes out the window.
Yeah, Valneni.
Either Partey or Saka will get hurt.
What if Odegaard got hurt? You guys be
That'd be
poo-poo.
really tough, too. Now, we got Smith Rowe coming back, so
That's what he wants you to think.
that's helpful. But he hasn't played for quite some time.
Yeah,
So.
he's not coming back.
I mean, Odegaard has been fantastic.
Yeah.
The guy's a magician.
You have any predictions for this week?
Yeah, my prediction for this week, I'm going to say 2 goals from Rodrigo.
Wow. Brentford, be on the lookout. Ben me.
As long as
Hide
they
your
don't
kids,
sub him off.
Hide your wife. Yeah, well, Jesus, Jesse Marsh, what were you thinking?
You ever seen Pat Bamford run?
Yeah, it looks weird.
Looks like Kyle Anderson.
You ever think about how Pat Bamford was once a Chelsea youth product?
I just remember him getting like passed around to like every single club in the championship.
Chelsea's a lone army. Bring it back. That's what Todd Bowley. That's what he's doing. He's restoring so many guys that we eventually just loan out $100 million players, €100 million players, £100 million players. Just loan them out. It's the biggest, best Chelsea loan army you've ever seen.
Thumbnail for this
Better.
episode's going to be Todd Bowley. With dollar signs in his eyes.
You should go back and tell me who your favorite Chelsea loanee guy was. Van Hinkel,
Oh, yeah. There were some good ones.
Lucas Piazon.
That guy, did he even play a game for Chelsea?
I think
ever?
like 2. I think he played 2.
And he was like on the team for
Yeah, ever.
years.
Yes.
Great.
Who else was there? We got to name one more before we go. Victor Moses kind of was, but then he had the 1 year under Conte
did
that
pop
people
off.
remember him for.
Yeah.
Other than that.
My favorite Chelsea loanee,
Yeah.
Lukaku.
I got it. He can't stop. You're going to have to cut that noise from the phone.
Get bantered. Get bantered. That's right. Mudryk to Inter on loan next season.
Make it happen.
You heard it
Telling you.
here in January.
The best loan army the world has ever seen. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, folks. Make Chelsea loan army great again. That's enough for me. Adios.
All right, that's the last episode of the podcast.